Hey everyone, today I sat down with Tommy Stiggs. He's an ex mob associate. He was a bookie and a loan shark. Today we talk about that and some mob history and how he went to prison and what ultimately led him to being able to leave the Mafia alive. If you want to hear more videos that'll change your life for the better, please hit the subscribe button down below. All right, welcome back to the IIY podcast. Today I got a new guest on today. His name is Tommy Stiggs. He's an ex mob associate. He was a bookie and a loan shark. Today we're going to be talking about his early life and how he became associated with the mob and, how he ended up leaving the mob and, where he's at today. Thanks for coming on, Tommy.
You're welcome. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, finally nice to meet you, man.
Same here.
So, how we can start, man, is we can talk about your early life. What was your upbringing before joining or becoming associated with the mob?
Upbringing was basically an Italian American neighborhood. That type of element was around for as long as I can remember. We didn't realize that it was the element, but it was. It's just like a second nature to us. So there was always that kind of flavor or that vibe going around. And
Right.
we grew up in.
Yeah. So, when was your? What was it like for you? Before you joined the mob. I mean, were you? Because I think I've heard discussions that grew up in kind of a poorer neighborhood, and
Yeah.
you were the poorest in the neighborhood and stuff like that. So kind of talk about what were some struggles that you went through as a kid. With being poor.
So I never really could. I don't want to say I joined the mob. It was
Uh-huh.
just a matter of course, I guess you can say. Some people became lawyers. Some people became law enforcement officers. Some people became doctors. Some people got mixed up in the life, the street life.
Right.
For me, more so, it was a matter of survival. It wasn't really a poor neighborhood. I would say it was middle class, but I was the poorest in the neighborhood
Hmm.
because of familial situations. My father left when we were young. There was my mother on her own. So more so out of survival, which makes it come kind of natural, I guess, in some respects, because it's not out of glamour, it's out of survival.
Yeah. So.
It's kind of weird, seeing your mother struggling, not being able to keep the lights on, stuff like that, and not being of an educated individual, you kind of looked for that. It didn't have to be that way because, like I said, many individuals from our area became successful in legitimate life. So it was just a path to maybe make it a little bit better, I guess you can say.
Yeah. And how old were you when you kind of realized that you were the poorest in the neighborhood? And what made you realize that?
11, 12 years old when my father left
Uh-huh.
us, and it was just me, my brother, and my mother. So, up to that point, we were kind of on par with the regular blue collar lifestyle, which is pretty awesome. I mean, middle middle income life is kind of enjoyable. You're not so comfortable, but it is enjoyable because you have a sense of community. Everybody's the same as you. You're not rich. You don't know you're not rich. You think you're rich because of the neighborhood. You kind of had everybody was pretty much the same. So you don't know until it hits you that you're like, okay, this, no, everybody's buying new clothes and, you know, we're going
Right.
to, we're going to the place that sells the quality control rejected clothes. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it is kind of weird how, we grow up in certain situations and, we kind of think of it as being quote unquote normal, but,
yeah.
you eventually age and mature and you're like, damn, something's not right here, and it's just kind of like, you just like think like, well, I want to make a change. I don't want to be like how it was when I was growing up, so, that's kind of what happened with you, right? I mean, you became an associate with the mob. I mean, so, what age was that?
But even at a younger age, 9 years old, I was serving sandwiches at poker games in basements
Oh,
in the
really?
neighborhood. So we always had that around, just came natural. So as a young man, you don't even know you're in the element when you are in the element. We're
Right.
learning, guys like me are learning all of this later on through men like you who see it from an outside perspective. For us, it was natural. Every weekend, one basement had a poker game going on in the neighborhood. So, and it was typically a mom or a woman that ran this poker game. It was crazy, but That's what it was. So I was serving poker games at 9 years old, making tips. Second nature
Damn.
or first nature almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So you were
Yeah.
just.
So
Oh,
yeah,
go
when
ahead.
you're around it naturally like that, you don't even know that it's not the norm
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because
until later on we meet men like you that from a different perspective.
area. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I mean, when did that kind of happen? Like that you did realize like, okay, there's something going on here. Like, was that middle school when you started going to being around different people, or?
Probably around ninth grade-ish, 10th grade-ish. A
Yeah.
friend of mine got jammed up with gambling. He lost a boatload of money
Damn.
gambling. But it started out with those football slips, the little football slips. It was like a gambling slip that went around the neighborhoods that you had to pick a certain amount of winners to win. But
Hmm.
that led to, if you had a compulsion, some people ended up gambling big on football games. So I guess it was around 10th grade. A friend of mine lost $54,000. We were in 10th grade.
Holy
I
shit.
think around 10th grade. And that's when we started to realize, okay, what's going on here? Somebody's coming to collect, blah, blah, blah. And it just became a natural thing far as as far as our introduction to it, not
Right.
knowing we were involved in an underworld, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You could say.
Yeah. So you were always kind of involved in it. I mean, even
We
at
didn't
what
know it.
yeah, yeah.
Little thing that we didn't even know
So
different.
were you running any like schemes or anything like that when you were coming up,
Not that
or
young. No, not that
no?
young. I mean, yeah, yes. All right. Wasn't gambling at guys will bring us trunks full of cologne and trunks full of hot stuff.
Hmm.
We would sell it. We would sell hot goods. But again, just came so second nature. We didn't even realize we were doing something wrong. So I had a trunk full of cologne, whatever the popular cologne was at that time, and we would sell it. We don't know where it came from. It came off a truck, obviously, and
Right.
put into our hands to sell as young individuals. It's crazy.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, that is pretty crazy.
Well, we start out young, not even knowing you're in a criminal environment.
Mhm.
It just comes so natural. It's the oddest thing. To me, it's the oddest thing now, seeing it
Right.
from different people's perspectives.
Yeah. Now that you're like I said, once you get older and a different age, you just kind of start realizing, damn. You
Yeah,
look back at your past, like, wow, that was fucked up. You just kind of think twice about it now.
right
But
there, which is right there with us.
yeah.
Let
So
me pause you. Is the lighting okay? Can you see? Are we good with the
yeah,
video?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You're good, man.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure we don't.
Oh yeah. So when was your first introduction to kind of like becoming an associate? I mean,
Uh,
what was that like? I mean,
I
the
would say
process on that.
probably in my is probably 19ish. I would say 19ish.
Uh huh.
Um, Somehow, some way, and I don't remember exactly. The football betting slips came my way, and I was distributing the betting slips as like a bookie in training, I guess you could say.
Right.
So we would distribute the betting slips through all different areas or all different people, and that was my introduction basically to it through a family member, through an uncle who was kind of higher up. So that's where that began, I guess.
Yeah. And what family was the one that you joined?
Well, I don't want to get too. There's going to be some questions, that I gotta
Oh, okay. We
remember.
can skip
Remember,
them.
just keep in mind, I'm not an informant,
Right. Yeah.
so
Yeah. I've heard
I
that.
don't go into much detail about who I was with, what I was with, who I was doing things with. I can tell you from my area, every family was involved in some way or another. It wasn't specific to one family. You had
Right.
Genovese, you had Gambino, you had Lucchese, Scarfo. The most dominant, prominent would be Genovese,
Hmm.
And then second would be probably Gambino, and third probably be Lucchese. But I mingled with everybody. I was not obligated to any one individual. When you're
Oh,
an
okay.
associate, it's a little bit different. You do typically go on record with someone, but when you're an associate at that level, you're not 100% obligated to a specific outfit. So you're kind of
Oh,
yeah,
so you can mix and mingle with all of them
yeah,
and kind
yeah.
of do work with
In
all of them a
some
little bit.
respects, in some respects,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, after you were 19, you were kind of like you said trying to train, becoming a bookie in training, and
Yeah.
what led up to what was the next after that?
That kind of came natural. After that, became just taking action on football games, baseball games, and then a social club. We had a social club, so I was involved in that poker game. There's a little bit that went on in between all of that, but it's just regular everyday stuff. It's the progression, like in every job, I would say. I guess you can say. So you went from betting, handling football slips to basically running a package of, you know, um, gamblers and bookmakers and just people involved in gambling.
All
So
right.
we were in a social club, and that's kind of the headquarters, I guess you can say. And it led to just I don't know how it happens. Like I said, it just comes so natural. So it's hard for me sometimes to explain, but it comes so natural. Before you know it, you end up with 45 gamblers betting on the Giants with you. Uh,
Damn.
let me silence my phone real quick.
Oh, go ahead, man.
I don't want it to interrupt what I say. Yeah, so that it's a natural thing, and the transition just comes natural to you. I don't know
Yeah.
how, or I don't know why. Me myself personally, I never had a gambling issue. I never bet $1 in my life,
Damn.
and ended up having a very lucrative, successful gambling operation. So it's very weird. Very
Probably
weird.
the best way to do it is stay away from the gambling, but let the people gamble.
Yeah, I had a business mentality. I guess looking back now, I had a business mentality versus I don't know who the Giants quarterback was, and I really didn't care. I just know the Giants are given 7, and we have to make that work in our favor. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
did they have any ways of making it work in their favor, or was it just kind of it was all legit, with the gambling?
That's what I was kind of good at. So what happens is we're fast forwarding now, and that's okay. Whatever you
Yeah.
feel. We're fast forwarding into being fully into bookmaking.
Uh-huh.
So one of my strengths was my ability to follow the action as it's coming in. So say the action, bookmaking action. Say the action is coming in for the Giants. They're given 7. I'm just using fake numbers right now. The Giants are given 7 to the Cowboys, right? I'm using all fake, you know,
Right.
situations. And we got $100,000 coming in on the Giants given 7, right? I
Uh-huh.
might say, okay, line 2, drop down to the Giants given 6.5. We need to change the action the other way. So it's a continuous hustle up and down of moving action all around. You're trying to juggle the line. A bookmaker's job is not to just take the action; it's to also benefit the outfit that you're working for. And how can
Hmm.
you do that? You can do that by switching lines, and then say too much action comes in on that Giants game, you'll bet with another office who might have it at another lines. Not everybody understands lines, but those are the odds basically. So
Oh, okay.
different odds with a different offer. So okay, we might say, okay, we got way too much action on this. The odds at somebody else's office are different. Let's bet 100,000 of our 200,000 action with that office. So it's a hustle. It's a job.
Yeah. Yeah, it really sounds like it because I
It
mean
is a job.
it's like figuring out the odds and everything. I mean, there's
Yes,
so much that goes with it.
exactly. But if you're good at it, you can make your outfit money.
Yeah. I mean, what were you, I guess, because there's ones that work in the office and
I
then
was
there's
an
the
agent. I was an agent and then I had packages under me. I was a bookmaker with
Uh-huh.
people that had um, that turned into me, that reported to me basically. So I oversaw a network of guys that actually had gamblers with them. So I never saw their gamblers. I don't know who they were. So
Right.
say you have a package with me, you're cut in at say 25% of your winnings,
Mm-hmm.
and you have 20 guys gambling with you. I don't know anything about your 20 guys. I just know that your package bet $10,000. Just use a fake number,
Right.
So I kind of moved through it to being able to control a network of gamblers, a network
Yeah.
of bookmakers that
Yeah.
turned into.
So I mean, yeah. When so when did the loan shark part come about?
That comes about when a gambler loses and can't pay.
Yeah. So you would have to go out there
So you
and
turn it into a loan with another individual within an organization. And this is generic, I guess you can say. This is not just me. This is how the system basically works. So you lose money with me, you can't pay me. I I send you two, or I loan you that money. Say you lose $5,000, example, you can't pay it. I got to make a business decision if I want to keep you as a gambler and loan you that 5,000 and keep that separate from the gambling and have you continue, or I cut you off and loan you that money, or I cut you off and send you to a loan shark who will pay your debt and now you owe them. And that's a twisted web you get into. Unfortunately, the gamblers get into that twisted web. It never really ends well for them.
yeah. I mean, because it sounds just like a never-ending cycle,
It,
especially if they're addicted to it. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. But it's everyday life in this world, in that world, it's an everyday life. It's the way things go every day.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. Don't ever bet.
No. Yeah. I mean, especially now that it's legal, I guess it's probably. How do you feel about it being legal now and it was
I don't
illegal
think it
back
has
then?
any effect on street gambling because you have to remember you have to have credit to bet with. You have to be like you have to have a credit card or you got to pay that right then to the legal gambling. I think that's how it works. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's how it works. You either have to have an open credit line or something like that, right?
Yes,
But
I think something like that.
with street gambling, with street bookies, there is none of that. You pay on Thursday, or other things take place. So it's totally different. I don't think that'll go away. I never
Hmm.
think street gambling will go away. It's not possible. It may
So did
hurt it
you?
a little bit. It may hurt it a little bit, but I don't
Yeah. So I mean, did you ever have to go and collect debts then, like that, when people wouldn't pay?
not typically. If it got to that point, I maybe in some respect, but there was other people for that. There's other people.
Oh,
When it gets to that point, there's other people. You know,
because it was a family effort, that would have to help. Because I mean, it was the money for the family, right?
it's for the organization, whatever
Right.
organization you might be working for. They have guys that do that. It may be you may be the bookmaker that does that. You may be a bookmaker that is a laborer also. You know what I mean? Or you may
Hmm.
be a bookmaker that just handles the business, and other people handle that aspect of the business. It varies. It varies.
Yeah. So, with all that, that you did, was there what else other duties did you do while you're associate? Was it just those ones?
Well, typically I was good at that. They call you to do other different things, and scores come up, and different types of illegal activities come up, and you make your decisions what you want to do. If you want to take on a score or do this, do that, do the other thing. I typically stuck to this.
Yeah.
I
It,
was good at it. I had no vices, and I just stuck to that.
it was the money maker.
Yeah, and there's good money in it.
Yeah. So then, are you able to say like how much you would? I mean, how would you even profit? I guess I never really understood it.
So how it happens is typically this is the typical. Everybody can come up with their own
Uh huh.
arrangement with the office or with the people that you're working for. But typically, you get a percentage of your winnings, which
Hmm.
means, say, you lose your people lose whatever amount of dollars going into the organization, you get a percentage of the winnings.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
some people get 25, some people get 35, some people get 50%. It all varies. That's the percentage increases in time and as you prove yourself.
Hmm.
So you might start as a 25%. If you bring in 100, you get $25. I'm just using a fake number. If you bring it,
Right.
and then it grows and grows and grows. You can go up to 50%. You can go higher than that.
Damn.
Then you could go even higher if you take part of the risk. So typically, the organization handles the losses.
Uh-huh.
You don't go into your pocket for the losses. But when those losses accumulate, you have to make that back. Say your guys win 1,000 that week.
Hmm.
You got to make back 1,000 before you start getting your percentage again. You go in the red.
Oh,
It's called the red, but you're typically in the green because
yeah.
gamblers typically don't stay ahead. You're typically
So,
going to make money as a bookmaker. Somebody might have a good run, but so that's how it works. You know, it's lucrative to the organization.
right. Yeah. So how many years did you do it altogether while you were
Probably, I
active?
would say 7, maybe something like
7, you
that.
said?
18 to 26 or something like that. 7 or 8 years. So
Damn.
I got in trouble until I got in trouble. So
Yeah. What led up to that, and what
I would
took
say
place?
around I would say around 8 years. I had a good run.
Damn.
I had a again. I was not doing it out of glamour. It started out out of survival, familial survival to help just to be I don't know just to just I found my way to earn money while others were getting probably educated and going a different route or family had money or whatever. We didn't, so I found that as my way to stay on par with with the environment, I guess you can say.
Yeah. And did it help? With like all the skills and stuff you learned from there. I mean, because you could probably apply them to like different strategies and stuff that you do in your daily life now. You know what I mean?
And I do. 25
Really?
years ago, 25 years ago is when I got in trouble, and I've been with the same organization job legitimately for 25 years
Damn.
without any ruling in a management position.
What position did you say?
In management.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, that'd be perfect because you, like you said, you were kind of supervising your own guys that you had too, and they would report back to you. So I mean, yeah, you learn from that. I mean, it has its perks, that you can pick up and learn. I mean, it's not like it's just you make fast money. I mean, you're learning stuff as well as you. I mean, life skills. You know what I mean?
Exactly what I was just going to say. I learned life skills.
Yeah.
I took a shot at getting a job as a supervisor or a manager, and I nailed it. And all that stuff that I learned doing all of that, not knowing what I was learning, I was learning management skills without
Damn.
without education. It's crazy.
Yeah. Little did you know, man.
Little did I know. And 25 years legitimate living and doing okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good,
No,
man.
no education, and I just took that confidence that comes with that type of life because you have to have some type of level of confidence to be able to succeed in that kind of world.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get rolled over, right?
Hmm.
You will get rolled over. So I learned a lot. Um, Self-esteem, uh, confidence, management skills, ability to deal with negative things that come your way, all of that stuff. And you've probably heard many people say it before. If this guy was in a Fortune 500 company, he'd be a gazillionaire. I'm
Yeah.
sure we've heard it before, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of true. It's
Yeah.
kind of true. It is true. I'm not wealthy. I make a living legitimately, and I can eat, so I'm good. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to worry about the cops or nothing like that no
but
more. You can go
but
to sleep
but
easy.
that's a
Right.
positive outcome. Typically, the guys are doing life on the installment plan, as we say.
Damn.
Because it's just the way it is. You get a pinch here for a year. You get another pinch there for 3 years. Another pinch for 5 years. Another
Yeah.
arrest for 10 years. Before you know it, you are literally legitimately doing life on the installment plan. It's not
Did
good.
you ever go to
Yeah,
prison?
oh yeah, yeah. I went away. I got pinched. I got arrested for this, so I went away. I got a 9-month sentence in county. I was facing 5.
Mm-hmm.
I was facing 5 in New Jersey State, and pled down to violating gambling laws. A lot of charges were dropped. I pled guilty, and I took violating New Jersey gambling laws. I got 9 months in the county prison system. So,
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, nothing too major, but still, I mean, it's 9 months of your life, like you said. You mean it's something you don't get back, but I mean, what led up to that? I mean, how
you
did
don't
you
get
get
it back.
busted? No.
County penitentiary is difficult, man. It's the
What
worst of
was
the
what?
worst. It's just not. Out of all the three, um, they say corrections. I never would say corrections. It's all a penalty. It's not. There's no corrections involved. It's a penalty of what you did, right? They can
Uh-huh.
say corrections all they want, but federal is the federal is the most in some respects. Not every federal penitentiary, but it's not the easiest time to do, but the environment is cleaner. I guess you can say cleaner. Maybe you can say. Um, State is one level above county, and county they just throw you in a cage and you're just like an animal. County is very difficult time to do. Like Rikers Island is basically a county prison. If you heard of Rikers Island in New York,
Yeah.
it's and you've probably heard of the conditions. That's like a county prison. It's the worst of the worst. So when they
Damn.
sentence you, the most they can sentence you in county is 364 days. If you get 365, you go into the state system. Federal is a whole different situation. But if you're facing state and county charges,
Mm-hmm.
365, you go to state prison. 364, if they want to screw you, anything 364 or under, you're doing all your time in county, and
Damn.
it's brutal because you're with everybody in county. All different types of criminals are in county. You're not
What
sentenced. You got people that are on trial, not sentenced. It's tough. Essex County, New Jersey.
what were some shitty situations that happened in there?
Just the living environment is terrible. It's just everything. The quality of food, the quality of life, the quality of air. You're just basically a caged animal when you're in county prison.
Damn.
It's just a housing for. It's what it is. But we as men adapt to our. You'd be surprised. We as men adapt to our environment within a day or two. Somehow we learn survival skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. People don't realize it, and you get comfortable with your surroundings. It was a horrible environment, but you make the best of it.
You made do with it.
Get with it, right?
Yeah.
It's
What
with
led
every,
up?
yeah.
I was gonna ask what lead up to that? You getting locked up. I
My
mean, what
best
happened?
friend, my best friend got pinched for it. My best friend from when we were in diapers got
Damn.
arrested for it because he had underage guys gambling with him. So
Oh.
like I said before, here's me and here's you, this guy, that guy, the other guy. I only deal with these guys, right?
Yeah.
They have all the gamblers out there that are betting weekly, daily. So I don't know who they are. I would never know who they are. I have
Right.
my clients, right? Which are men, grown men, obviously. But these guys, I don't know who is gambling with them. You have no idea who. So they had high school kids gambling with them. Something happened. Somebody ended up losing. I think it was $700. I think a kid lost $700, and people that were nervous actually kidnapped this kid, took to a housing project in Newark, New Jersey, and left him there as a threat. Me, I had no idea that this is going on, but my best friend has these guys gambling with him. He gets pinched for that. He got arrested for that, and he turned state. My best friend turned state on me. So, not not implicating me in that. They were pressuring him as to who he was working for, who he was working.
Oh.
You know what I mean? He
Right.
didn't. He didn't give to the law that I was implicated in. That I was part of that.
Yeah.
He just he just caved when asked who he was working for, and then went ahead. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so when that happened, did they approach you, or the cops? They come after you with a warrant right away,
Yeah,
or?
yeah. There was a warrant out for my arrest. They arrested me and basically charged me with a litany of organized crime charges. They charged me with bookmaking, violating gambling laws, some loan sharking, conspiracy, all kinds of different things to make it go up to 5 years worth of charges to try to
Damn.
break me. So got arrested
Yeah,
for that.
yeah. So they were trying to get information and stuff from you for like who you're working for, who such and such, who you getting all this money from, or just shit like that, and you just told them no and did your time.
Yeah, the newspaper articles say, oh, the newspaper articles were crazy. It was a big chaotic circus media of where I'm from. So, they try to break you. So what happens is anybody will tell you this that has been pinched. When you don't give up who's above you, they try to charge you as a leader. They try to
Mm.
charge you as a leader of organized crime. I'm no leader of organized crime. I'm a bookmaker. But when you're the
Right.
last man in the investigation, they try to charge you as the leader. But I was willing to take it. I wasn't going to budge. I wasn't going to budge. My maximum penalty would have been 5 years, and my reputation is worth more than my reputation is. I want to retain my positive reputation. So if I was going to face 5 years and I was going to be the last person that got pinched in the investigation, so be it. That would have been it. I was ready and willing to take 5 years to not give
Damn, man.
anybody up. To not give anybody up. Felt that
Yeah,
I felt that strongly about it.
yeah. And like you said, you stuck to your word.
Yeah.
You held your guns and only got 9 months. I mean, you were thinking you were going to get 5, but luckily you just got 9.
I was prepared for the 5 because even though I accepted the 9 month sentence,
Hmm.
the judge at sentencing, the judge at sentencing your sentencing time can reject your plea. They can reject. Yeah, the judge can reject your plea at sentencing and force you to trial. I didn't know they were planning on doing that. My lawyer told me afterwards they were strongly leaning towards rejecting your plea. He
Really?
didn't tell me till after, but they were really leaning toward because I wouldn't break and they couldn't budge me. They were irate about it. They were irate that I would not budge. So they were going to. Even though you make your arrangements and drop some charges and take a guilty plea so that the prosecutor does get a guilty plea, that's like their badge, that's like their notches, right?
Yeah.
When a prosecutor gets a guilty plea, that's a win. The sentence is immaterial, basically. But the judge wanted me. The judge was irate that I wouldn't budge. So wanted me to go to trial and get that 5 years. And I kind of wanted to go to trial. But my lawyer said to me, look, if you lose that trial, you're doing 5 state. There's no doubt about it. They're going to sentence you to the maximum if you go to trial and lose. I negotiated you down to violating gambling laws in New Jersey, and I could get you 9 months. If you want to go to trial, we're going. I really wanted to see the witnesses on the stand face to face. I really, really wanted to do that. I was hungry for that,
So you're
knowing
ready
full
to go.
well that I'm walking in there like I'm ready. I wanted to see them, but it was the right move. You take the guilty
Yeah.
if you're able to. 9 months versus 5 years, it's a big difference.
What did it for you? What convinced you to just say, all right, I'll do the 9 months?
I was newly married. Life,
Right.
life around me.
Yeah.
But I went against my gut. I took the guilty plea, but I went against my inner being to take that guilty plea.
Yeah.
It pained me to plead guilty,
I'm
but
sure.
I know in life it was the right decision.
Yeah, because you
But
could have lost so much time.
yeah, but at that time, so I didn't have kids yet. I could have really did the 5 years.
Yeah, but still, I mean, no, I mean, in your heart, you still want to do that. You know what I mean? But no, good thing you only got 9 months. You came out. What happened after you came out? Did you go back?
And the 9 months was local. It was no, it was Essex County, New Jersey. It was local. But if they
Oh,
put you in state, they could send you 3 hours south. South Jersey.
Then you don't see nobody or anything like
It's a
that. Your
little.
family.
It's the time in county's tougher, but being that you're local makes it easier. 'Cause
How?
people come and see you. It's a local prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. Because then you get to see your people, but think about it. Oh, we got to go spend a whole day, going to seeing them 3 hours away, 3 hours there, come back. We're never going to be able to do it.
It's a whole
So
day. Because
that
when
that
they sentence you, they typically send you to the farthest place. They make it miserable for you.
yeah, I'm sure because they don't want
Yeah.
you to learn. I guess is what they do. I'm sure.
What they do, right? It's
Yeah.
punishment, not corrections. I say it 100 times.
Well, when you came out, what was your mindset? Just done with it?
Well, I will tell you this before I get to that. Jail makes you a better criminal.
Really?
Yes.
Because you network with people, or
Yeah, everybody's in there doing the same thing. Jail can do a lot of different things, but it can definitely make you a better criminal. And
I
there is
guess
a
that's true.
camaraderie. There's bad things in there, but you get a camaraderie amongst prisoners and inmates, especially if it's people that you know in there. You do your time. So jail can in many ways make you a better criminal, but it can twist your mind so much not realizing you are going back.
Yeah. You don't want to go back.
You're going back. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Come back if you come out and be. So upon my release, I had a decision to make. Fortunately, for the way I conducted myself on the street, I was granted the option to make a decision on where my life was going. So when I came out, I had to meet with some people, and the conversation was, "What do you want to do?" versus "You're going to do this." So
Yeah, that's a
typically,
big
here,
difference.
it's what happens when you're an associate versus being a made guy.
Yeah.
Made guy comes out, he doesn't typically have those options. Made guy comes out, he's right back to it.
Damn.
When you're an associate, it might be a little different. I was granted the options. I had three different options, Dick, and one of them was, accept this as your life, and this is what it will be forever. You did your time. We respect you. We want you part of this thing, you know. And another one was just okay, mingle in the sidelines, work in the office, answer phones, the gambling offices, answer phones, or number three, go legit, and you're never obligated to us again. But call us anytime that you may need anything in the future. And I went that route. I went that route. I went that route.
Damn. And that was how many years ago now?
I had not a dollar.
Damn.
I had not a dollar, man.
So so when you got out and everything, I mean, did you have anywhere to go? Did you have
I
family and stuff?
I had family.
That's good.
I had work, not good work, but I had enough to pay rent.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And I was newly married. I had enough to pay rent and just get by. But I made this conscious decision to say this is better than living in a cage. Let
Yeah.
me see. I got these management skills. I have ambition. I am a hustler. I have no vices.
Yeah.
I have no vices. I have no addictions. I got to be able to make a positive lifestyle out of this.
Yeah.
And I
So
did.
yeah. So when were you able to find the job that you really enjoyed and that
I
was decent
I
that
was
paid for everything?
I had a menial job that kept me even while I was incarcerated. I told them I was going in, and they said, "You have a job, a $10 an hour job." But I had work,
Yeah.
right? I had a
Good.
paycheck, right?
Yeah.
54 miles each way driving, but I had employment. I had a
Yeah.
purpose, a sense of purpose, right?
Yeah.
So as I'm working this menial job, I said to myself, I have management skills. Let me look into for a job that may be better. And I found a job that was looking for a supervisor, not having any supervisory experience. I just applied for this job. I went in and I nailed it.
Damn.
This owner's company kept me there for 3 hours. I wasn't bullshitting. I was just being me.
Yeah.
I was just being me. And ended up landing a supervisory job. I'm not even out of jail a couple of months.
Damn. So that's when everything changed after that. I mean,
things went well. That's 25 years ago.
25. That's what I thought. Yeah. And where are you today now? I mean, what do you got going on that, I mean, I know you got your YouTube channel and stuff. I mean, are you trying to work on, a book or anything like that, like
No,
the
I
other
don't.
guys?
I don't even see as I wouldn't know where to begin with something like that. I guess somebody would have to sit down with me and go piece by piece my life,
Yeah.
and something like that. I have a lot of stories. We could be on here for hours, and you don't want to do that, but we could be on here for hours. And I could give you stories and situations and life or death situations that I've been in, and we could go on and on and on. Now, listen, I'll jump on with you anytime you want to do a quick story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as a book or something like that, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
Right now, I'm just living and working, happy with that. The YouTube thing, I don't make money on it. I don't have a big channel. Maybe someday it will be. I don't know. I don't keep it related to this topic. I keep it very general. As you can see, you've seen my.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You said I was on there today commenting on a bunch of your videos.
Yeah, I just keep it general. No, not on the mob genre specifically. You know,
Right. Yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it, but not on the mob genre specifically. So as far as social media stuff goes, I don't really have a goal or a vision. If it goes somewhere, great. If it doesn't, so be it. I'm enjoying myself. It's a positive out for me. I do that half hour in the morning, having coffee with my morning crew. We just shoot the shit, talk about life,
Yeah.
and I move along with my regular job. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Who
Yeah,
knows?
you can tell. I mean, like with that, you can tell, like you said, it's a good outlet. I can see, from all your videos, you're just happy, being positive. Just nothing negative, and it's not nothing to do with the mob stuff. Because you're more than just that. That was just a part of your life, but there's so much more that you have going on and that you've been through. So that's good that you keep it like that, and you can tell you're just very relaxed on there. What I mean, just very relaxed dude, and doing life.
It's interesting to see from a different person's perspective what you see, because I don't
Yeah.
get really feedback on it other than situations like this that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, I mean that's what I see when I see it, man. I mean, just you enjoying life and relaxing.
Yeah, I just like to keep it positive if I can. If that helps somebody through that day, I did. I'm good. I feel good.
Yeah, and because you do have quite a few. I mean, people that do tune in, on your lives and stuff when you go and you talk, and I mean, that gives people something to do and to look forward to, and enjoy and hear your messages. I mean, because on your on like you have like the thing about the tattoos. You do like little
Yeah,
clips, and you give messages, or how would you label that? What that is when you do those.
it's just, it's just. I
A
just
thought.
think quick topics.
Yeah.
Get to it. Everybody can relate to most of them. We shoot the shit for a half hour about that topic, and people are satisfied and happy. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's a lot of different topics that people are thinking about but don't talk about.
Yeah. And you bring them
There's
to
a lot
light.
of people in the morning just having coffee. So instead of watching the horrible news, they
Right.
tune in with me. We shoot the shit for a half hour. And a lot of times I don't have a topic. I go freestyle. Typically, I go freestyle.
Yeah.
Say, what's up, guys? What's going on? Okay, in North Jersey, we got rain today. And that leads to another topic.
Yeah. It just keeps going and flowing.
Yeah. And
No,
that's how
that's
I
cool.
like it. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Look,
That's
I
good.
am I'm 53 years old. I raised two kids. I'm unfortunately divorced. I'm single. I have a lady friend. I keep company, but I I don't know. I'm at that point where I could just sit back for a half hour, shoot the shit, and just talk about life, things.
Yeah.
And if I could help somebody through my negative experiences, because I'm a perfect example that you can make a positive out of a negative. I'm a prime example of that. You can,
Absolutely.
you can, you know. I really believe that it's the fact that I did not cave in that led me to a lot of the things that are happening right now.
Yeah.
But your reputation is what you got.
What's that tattoo that you got?
Your reputation is your wealth.
Yep. There it is. Yeah. That's true,
I got
man.
I got the Serenity Prayer on one forearm, and I got your reputation is your wealth on the other forearm.
Yeah. Very meaningful messages. I mean,
So
I
the
like
Serenity
that.
Prayer is not just for addiction; it's for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I have friends that struggle with addiction, but the Serenity Prayer is typically linked to addiction, but I think it's general in all life.
Yeah. It's whatever anybody wants to make of it, really. I mean, there's more meanings in everything. It's just how you take it.
See, this is a good chat. It's not just mob talk, right?
Right. Yeah. That's what I do, though. I mean, I like to do the interviews, get to know the person. I mean, because I'm not just a mob channel, either. I do them with rappers, comedians, and I mean everything. So, I just like to hear, if it was a shitty upbringing that you went through when you went through some trials and tribulations on the way. I want to hear it all, and then talk about what you got going on today and how it's positive and how you can prevent people from making the same mistakes as you. You know.
Yeah. So basically, I started out as a normal, regular kid in a blue collar environment. The mob flavor was there. It was the environment of where we grew up, not even knowing it. Like I said,
Right.
cultural, environmental, and through life, things got tough. My father split, left my mother with two kids and no money, and I saw I would make something happen, not realizing, wow, it's illegal and this is not right. And fast forward to getting arrested as an adult. Fast forward to 25 years later, living a positive, legitimate lifestyle. So it's not typical that people get out of it. It's not typical.
No, not at all. I mean, there's not a lot of people around that can do the interviews, what I mean, or that do them, or that are able to, what I mean?
Unless they're a rat, and unless they, unless they save themselves, right? Basically, kind of. The only people that are typical. This is a perfect example. The only people that are really out right now are guys that turn state because the other guys are away. They don't have a voice right now.
Yeah, that they can't. I mean, it's either they're dead or in prison.
Oh man, it's terrible. I got friends in there doing life. I got friends in there doing 3 years. I got friends in there doing 10 years. It's just it's ugly, man.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't.
at least you're out and you made it. I mean, and you've been able to live your life good for 25 years, and doing good things, you know what I mean, and just enjoying your life.
It's there. Like, listen, I could change my financial situation isn't the best right now, and I know that I could change that quickly, but I know what's going to happen.
What's that?
You end up back in the cage.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about like a
No,
promotion or some shit.
no. I could go back to being, involved.
Oh, yeah.
I know where it goes. It does not. It does
It's
not.
not worth it. No, no. And that's the overall message, and that's why I do these, just like, I mean, overall, it's just to help people to not make the same mistakes. It might not even be, it might be business mistakes, or it might be, some life mistakes that are, trying to avoid prison, just anything, that's what I really like to touch on, just so everybody can get a better perspective and, you know, try to make better decisions.
Right. So the focal point of my day is waking up, walking outside, and hearing those birds chirping. You don't realize
Yeah.
it's music, man. You don't realize it until you don't have it.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. You
I
missed out
appreciate
on them
it
for a
every
while.
day. I appreciate that every single day. I have my first sip of coffee outside, and I hear those birds chirping, and I'm like, wow, man,
Yeah.
I'm never giving this by choice. I'm never giving this up again.
Yeah. No. I mean, it makes you appreciate things that you may have never thought to appreciate
You can't.
before.
Yeah, people don't realize. I go down by the Hudson River in Manhattan. I go down by the Hudson River and I watch the sunrise, and I just soak it all in, man. I enjoy. I'm only 10 minutes from the Hudson River in
So
Manhattan,
not too far. Yeah.
the Jersey side of Manhattan. I see the skyline, and just to see that sunrise over
Yeah.
Manhattan onto the Hudson River, it's just magical, man. I cannot ever imagine not being able to free will do that on any morning, just to take a ride down by the river and watch that.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible, to enjoy those kind of things. I always love looking at the night sky, and shit
It's
like
fun,
that.
yeah.
Just sitting out there and relaxing. I mean, that's my thing. I mean, I always love looking at that and appreciating that. But for you, like you said, it's a little different because you at one point in time you weren't able to have that by choice. But now you appreciate it 1,000 times more.
Yes. I have a lot we can go over. I mean, we can jump on anytime you want. We can do a
Yeah.
live. We can do a chat live, like you said, with Chicky or whatever. You might hit me up and say, Stig, let's go on tonight for 20 minutes. I want a quick mob story or a quick
Yeah.
story of a situation you might have been in, something like, and I'm more than happy to do it with you.
Okay. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Where can the people find your YouTube channel?
There's Tommy Stiggs. This is me. This is
Yep.
basically it right here, Tommy Stiggs. How did you
Okay.
find me? Colby or which?
Yeah, yeah, Colby. Yeah, Colby and Tom Lavecchia. I seen
Yep.
that you were on their shows, and I was just like, oh, let me reach out to him because I'm interested in what with the interview and your story. So I was like, fuck, I want to hear it too, and kind of make my own spin on it.
There's a lot more to the story. There's stories within stories, stories within stories. There's tons and tons and tons. What do you think? What do you think that the
you,
count audience is? An hour, 40 minutes. What do you think that is? When do you think you'll lose the people?
here, do you want me to hit end on here?
What's that?
I'll hit end on here. Well, if you made it this far, please give me a comment. Let me know what you think. I got plenty more stuff coming like this, so subscribe, give me a like, let me know what you think. Thank you.